especially in northern Syria, which borders Turkey. After Operation Euphrates Shield, conducted by the Turkish army last year, which cleared the area of Jarablus in northern Syria from what they call terrorist militants, and as well this year's Operation Olive Branch, which cleared the area, the district of Afrin, from again what Turkey calls terrorists and militant fighters. Many Syrians feel that it is now safe to return back to where they are from. So that is sort of the backdrop as to why a lot more Syrians are heading back as well. Where I am now is the municipality of Esenyurt in Istanbul, and this is home to approximately 250,000 Syrians, which make up the largest community of Syrians in Istanbul. The municipality here has been doing all the facilitating to return these Syrians back home, facilitating all their paperwork, as well as organizing a bus and paying for it all. So again, another good opportunity for Syrians who do want to return to take advantage of. As you can see, there is a bus behind me that is about to leave for the border with some Syrian families returning that we will join them on. As well, Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan for Muslims, is about to start in about 15-16 days. So again, a very good time for the Syrians here in Turkey to return back to their families in Syria, some families which they haven't seen in years, since the conflict began, even back in 2011. So all those elements combined is why we're seeing sort of an increase in Syrians wanting to return at this time.
No doubt this must be a very emotional journey for them. What have you heard from the refugees you've spoken to?
Well, as you mentioned, since the conflict in Syria began in 2011, there's over 3.5 million Syrians here in Turkey. Istanbul alone is home to over 600,000 of them. So many of those, though, however, are scraping by. They don't have jobs. They didn't come with much money. They don't have much support systems. They struggle with the language. So those Syrians, in particular, don't really have mixed emotions. They can't get back fast enough. Even we've seen some Syrians return to areas still occupied by terrorist elements, in a desperate plea just to get back to what they are familiar with. However, there are others who came to Turkey with some financial support, with some social support, have been able to find work here, albeit illegal, because Syrians aren't really entitled to work here in Turkey. Many have learned the language, made friends. So for those Syrians, yes, the return back to Syria, while they really want to make it, it also comes with mixed emotions after years of living here in Turkey.
Esenyurt is a district on the west side of Turkey's biggest city. Its population is around 850,000, but when you add the number of Syrians living here, it tops 1 million. Since the start of the war in Syria, Turkey has been hosting some 3.5 million refugees at the cost of nearly $30 billion US.
According to the municipality of Esenyurt, more than 250,000 Syrians live here, comprising the largest community of Syrians in all of Istanbul. So much so, the municipality has really grown to reflect their presence. All over Esenyurt, you can find Syrian restaurants, Syrian grocery stores, hear the Arabic language, Arabic music, and of course, many of the signs are in Arabic.
But for many, it's time to go back. For the past few months, officials at the municipality of Esenyurt have been busy processing the paperwork for Syrians returning home, such as Yahya Omar Shugur and his 2 children. They arrived in Turkey 3 years ago from Afrin in northwest Syria and have been living in this rented apartment with Yahya's brother and his family. While here, Yahya worked under-the-table construction jobs where he learned Turkish and made some very close friends. He says he will have good memories of his time here.
On the one hand, I feel sad because while I was living in Turkey, I met many nice people, good people. I worked with them. I had good neighbors. On the other hand, I'm happy because I'm going to my people. I'm going to my homeland. I will see my family in Syria. I will see their house.
In January, the Turkish army launched Operation Olive Branch to remove terrorist elements from the Afrin district. 2 months later, they announced the liberation of the area. Many Syrians now feel it's safe to return.
First, I will see my family because I miss them so much. I will stay with them for a while and start working in construction to do something for myself and my country. When I have enough money, I will rent a house with my children. I'd eventually plan to open a shop that sells electrical materials.
Muna Dende is also from Afrin and preparing for the journey home. The Esenyurt municipality has been helping get the paperwork for her and her family ready so they too can return.
We want safety. We just want it to be safe there. Maybe a big house. We just want to go back to our homeland. God willing, our life would be beautiful there.
In the last 2 months, more than 100 Syrians living in Esenyurt have been repatriated to their hometowns, a process being completely covered by the municipality itself.
What I came with in this suitcase from Syria, I go back with in this suitcase.
In the morning, Yahya and his 2 kids will join another Syrian family for the 1,200-kilometer bus ride from Istanbul to the border, then back into Syria, for what Yahya hopes will be a reunion with his old life.
And it is morning now, and you can see behind me again that there's a bus and there's some people gathering. In about an hour's time, Yahya and his family, as well as myself and the crew, will join them on this bus journey from Istanbul, and it takes about 20 hours to get to the Syrian border, the Syrian town of Kilis, where he will cross over and go back home to his family and friends, and as I've mentioned, hopefully be reunited with a life he once knew.